Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. So this is part 6 of my visit to Click Antiques in Northampton. It's one of my favourite places to go when I'm out and about because it's only like about less than 2 miles from where I live. And yeah, they've got loads of stuff. And as you know, this is part 6 and I've got at least 2 or 3 more parts to go. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there, lots of new things. So there's new things in this, but there's also a few old friends that I'm revisiting and trying to look at in a different way or find out more about them as we go along. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. So yeah, let's get on and have a look at some glass. Got some bits here that are not exciting me. This is nice. Inkwell in the back there that you can't see very well. These are copies of Stuart Stratford. I'll tell you how you can tell, because they're not lead crystal, they're just soda glass. Check it out. Stunning early pre-52 Waterford crystal vase. So the question is, is it 1949 to 52, because Waterford opened in 49, or is it Penrose Waterford, which makes it pre-1850? The glass looks very sparkly. I'm going to see. It's a chunk. It's a very nice quality piece. The cutting feels really sharp, so it's not been acid polished. Yeah, that's an interesting piece. That's really sharp. So that's been hand polished. But it looks nice and bright. Yeah. It might be it's not. There's no mark. I'd love to know why they think it's pre-1952. Why that date? So, yeah, that's an interesting piece. Normally I wouldn't be excited by this, but this is a Royal Doulton vase. And it just so happens that I have a catalogue to scan in for Royal Doulton. So let's have a look and see if I can find this. So my first port of call was the Doulton 2007 catalogue that I recently uploaded. And yeah, it's not in here. It's the pattern is a bit like this one. So it's a bit like Dorchester. I don't think it is that though. Might be, but I don't think it is. And the vase is a different shape. I did jump forward to the present date, but this is, you have to remember, this is 2000. This is like how many years ago? 17 years ago. Okay, so Royal Doulton now only makes one type of glass vase, this one here. That's it, that's your lot. If you go in I've been through the whole thing, I can't find anything else. There's tumblers, wine glasses, cocktail glasses, and jugs and pitchers, and that's it. So yeah, I don't think, it might be Dorchester, I'm not saying 100%. It's similar, but yeah, I can't pin it down. It's definitely not brand new because they only make one vase today, and it's this one here. Looks nothing like it. This is quite cool. I'll never figure out who it is by. They use electroplating. This is silver, so you get that on there. And they just keep plating it and plating it and plating it, and you can feel the thickness of the silver. If you were to break it, you'd have like a wiry silver mesh left if you didn't break too much with the bottle. So the decanter we were looking at is made with a very interesting process. What they do is they paint the surface of the decanter with something that will conduct electricity, and then they start electroplating, and then they just keep electroplating. Apparently it takes hours and hours, and it builds up a thick layer of silver, so it actually becomes, I mean, if you just kept going, eventually you just smash the glass aside, it would just stand on its own kind of thing, and you could probably smash it away and leave the silver frame. Anyway, in form, that decanter looks like bohemian 1950s. Now, what I've seen is that people have been labeling those types of decanters as American. So I thought I'll dig into that and see, is it American? I've already been through all the bohemian ones, and I can't find anybody that's doing silver overlays within them. So yeah, all the catalogues that I've got, now I've got access to Czech Glass Guide and Glass Musterbouche catalogues. Been through them all, can't find anybody do silver overlay, so that's a no. So I thought, right, let's go down this American avenue, and this is what I found. Yeah, and the company is called Alvin. So I've just put in silver Alvin decanter. The problem with these is that they all look earlier. So that looks like it's 1950s. These all look Art Nouveau. You know, they look like 50 years earlier. Possibly, I mean, this one might be a bit later than that, but it still looks pre-warish. This one, no, that one looks like some of the Stevens and Williams ones from 1900. So yeah, they all look kind of like that 1900 to 1920s style. I have that feel about them, you know, Art Nouveau. So I'm not sure. This is the closest one I've got to it. This one's supposed to be Alvin, but even this one still has a kind of Art Nouveau look about it, and less of a mid-century look. So it means, and this one actually, compared to some of the others, is quite cheap. If you look back here and look at some of these prices up here for some of the Alvin ones, yeah, right. And also the silver, you see saying 0.999 fine silver. That's because it's not sterling, because it's obviously it's just solid electroplating. So it may have the odd other little tiny piece of something in it, depending on how pure the chemical was that they used. But because it's electroplated, it's going to be pretty pure silver. So yeah, the answer is I don't know exactly, but I don't think it's Alvin. It looks bohemian to me, but I can't pin it down. These look very bohemian. Look at that. Really, there's nothing there. Yeah, they're quite cool. And it looks like there's all 6 glasses. But it's £48. But I've actually paid for access to the Czech Glass Guide, and yeah, I didn't hack. I did pay. So I will have a look. We are looking at the glassmusterbouche.de website. This is it here, and the section is Bohem, which means it's Bohemian, Czech, depending on how you want to go, which way you want to go. And the company we're looking at is Kamenniki Senov. Okay, Stein Shanu. Yeah. Anyway, this is the closest I can find to that decanter. If I scroll down far enough, and effectively, if you look at, let me show you this. I know these, I've seen these before. I know these glasses are like paper thin, and you've got the same kind of like this textured glass, and then gold lines, textured glass and gold lines. So yeah, I haven't found a decanters that's exactly the same shape, but the shape of the neck and the pouring lip is the same. So, but the body's not the same, and there's quite a few bits and pieces that are, you know, they have this look about them. Also, while we're on this one, do you remember the previous decanter, the one with the silver coating that we were looking at? If I go back a page, and it had rings. Remember, it had like a stack of, not applied rings, but blown rings. So, like this. Yeah. And this is why I was thinking it was Bohemian, because not only was the pouring lip like this one here, but it had rings like this here. Now, I know this is a completely different thing, but that's the style that they have. Funny shapes, quite often with rings. The pouring lips always look like this. The glass is always quite lightweight. It's got a lot of colours. In fact, if I go back to this one here, in fact, the same stuff is in here in colour, I think, in this one. Yeah. So it doesn't tell you who the name of the company is, but if you look at this, there you go. And you got, look, there's one with a ring on it. And actually the lines and the textured glass sections, and this one's got lines and sections, and it's got that same pouring lip and little thin, paper thin glasses. So yeah, this is the kind of thing we're looking at. This is from the 1950s, and it's Bohemian. Got some, I think, I keep trying to remember the name, I keep getting it wrong. They look like Pyrex. Yeah, it's got JAJ Pyrex. So are they marked? Yeah, JAJ. I think they're called drink ups, and because it's Pyrex, you can put your hot coffee or hot tea in there. Shouldn't hurt, it won't explode. You pour boiling water in them. That's the idea, and then you can pick them up because the plastic handle, you won't burn yourself. But it's very 60s, 70s look, especially with those colours. The book we're looking at is Miller's 20th Century Glass by Andy McConnell, and this is what we're looking at here. Drinking, this one's in avocado. I think they're called Drink Up Tumbler 1966. And obviously, I think orange and yellow and red ones are better, but avocado is still very period colour. Yeah, so I thought I hadn't shown any of these for a while, so yeah, in fact I haven't seen any for a while. They're not that common. They used to be everywhere when I was little, but yeah, probably the plastic's starting to go in them. A few more bits here. Don't know what this is. Oh, trying to see that. I don't recognise that mark. I don't know if you can see it. But my first thought was Gibraltar, but he's got written on it Island Studio Guernsey. Oh right, okay. Yeah, I don't recognise that at all. Got a few Scandinavian vases back there as well. Looked it up on the greatglassco.uk. Island Studio Glass, Guernsey. Founded in 1980 with advice and help from Michael Harris. Yes, the man that founded Medina on Malta, that then sprouted off Phoenician, Gozo, Mataafa. So, and then he went off to Isle of Wight and founded a company there, and I think that sprouted another one too. So this man is prolific. Yeah, he's done the business as far as art glass goes. Anyway, says mainly souvenir pieces, paperweights and stuff. With the trademark Guernsey seal. So the seal that we could see underneath, at first I thought it was Gibraltar glass, because that has a cast on it with 3 towers, but in actual fact it's 3 lions. and it says here that it closed sometime in the 1990s. If I go here, this is what the Guernsey shield looks like with the 3 lions. Also, I thought we should look at their glasses. I think it's this one. Yeah, so this is their glass in general. You see this style here with a little vase with a little ripply edge. It's like an Elizabethan rough, isn't it? Like a little. You can see. Look, there's a better picture of it there. Yeah. So that's the kind of. They seem to have quite a few vases like that. And also, as it's a. What I did also do, as it's a studio place, yeah, the styles are just like all over the shop, because obviously they're just going to play around all the time and do different styles. So they're making the same thing, this little vase, little rough, but they're slightly different sizes and shapes, and with different effects and different coloured glass. What colours have I got mixed this week? Let's have a play with those. I did go into eBay as well and looked at some of what's going on there and looked at the prices. So it's not too expensive, like £15 for that. This one's $9.99. That's quite a nice one actually. It looks a bit like Chinese snuff bottle, that one. Yeah, so they're not expensive, and yeah, there's some quite nice ones. That's quite nicely done, that one. The jug's nice. I think I've got a vase like that. I might have to check. If I do have a vase like that, I'll bring it out, because I don't think it was a present. I don't know where it came from. I will do that. Anyway, so yeah, you can see this vase is very common for them, but all sorts of different coloured effects that they're using. A real Murano bird, because it's got, I think that's a real Murano label on it. See if I can get around this side and get closer with my cat. Don't know how close that's going to get, whether it's going to be good enough. But we can look in the 20th Century Glass website and pick that out. This is the 20th Century Glass website, and yeah, and this is the same ducky, I think, in a different colour. Looks, you see where the beak goes, like the beaks always, Murano ones, beaks always tend to go like this underneath. There's a million different, there's a million different ways to do a beak, and underneath is one way. Okay, just so that you know. But I think this is it. It says 50s or 60s. Also, I think this is the label we saw. This one's on silver foil. I think the one we were looking at was on gold foil. But it's this. And also there's a million different ways of saying made in Italy, Murano. Look, there's a different one. There's a different one. There's some more up here. And this is what I mean. Sometimes, you know, look at all these. And more. And more. So yeah, I think it was that one I showed you first. But there's lots of little slight variations on that style. So there you go. So it looks like it's 50s or 60s. I wasn't going to film it, and then I looked underneath, because I wasn't going to film it because it's got the stopper missing, but Mill Race Glass, handmade, Holmfirth, made in England. I don't know, can I focus, it's not focusing. There we go. So yeah, never heard of them. So let's look these guys up. Apologies for the quality of the filming there, yes, but I'm still learning how to use this camera, and it's a bit of a pain sometimes. But anyway, Mill Race Glass. So I've been trying to find out about them. In fact, yeah, let's do this first. back of the greatglass.co.uk. Yeah, they're another one that's bitten the dust. So Mill Race Glass, 4 Greenfield Road, Holmfirth, West Yorkshire. It's got their names. Established 1982, ceased in 1999. Furnace worked art glass, some cut and engraved paperweights. So it's another one that's closed, but it's been closed over 25 years now. So everything from there is vintage. And looking online, most of it, there's a few perfume bottles. And probably for that one, I could probably go down the shed and find something like that and shove it in and would be done. But anyway, a lot of their production seems to be paperweights and not anything super sophisticated. There's no minifiori or fantastic designs or anything. So they're just a little one man and his wife making stuff at home kind of thing, I think. So, but yeah, I'm sure it's fun. A fun little job if you can make a living out of it. And they obviously did for what years was that again? Mill Race Glass, 82 for 16 years or so, I think. So yeah, why wouldn't you?
A bit from here, this is pretty certain that's a jellyfish or octopus bowl there, by Josephina. But yeah, I've not seen this before, with the Medina label on it. Yeah, that's not a normal pattern, so yeah, that's quite interesting.
So Josephina in Krosno is still going. This is in Poland, and their website's still up, and I'll leave you a link for that further down. But I was looking at that bit of video and I was thinking, I don't remember ever seeing any Josephina jellyfish or octopus bowls that were entirely clear. So I thought, let's have a look. And it's this type of bowl here. You can see where it's got like 2 legs and then it's got these little handly bits. There's another one, the same. Some of them are just like this with strings and more strings or less strings or bendy strings. It's just like, there's lots of variations, but some of them have the 2 little legs, another one with little handles. But I was thinking, I don't remember ever seeing one that was just clear. And so I started scrolling and scrolling and scrolling some more and a bit more. Yeah, there aren't any. So yeah, that's really unusual. They're art glass. They're all about colour, effectively, and this funky forms, naturalistic kind of stars. Look at the bowls here with all the holes pulled through it and everything. They're very much into that kind of naturalistic looking things with a lot of colour and texture and stuff. Never seen one clear before. Really unusual. Did a big scroll through, didn't find any in clear. Interesting. Just my little brain digging things out, going, that's unusual.
Got a whole pile of Mary Gregory stuff here. The references are very vague for it, and it was made over a long period of time, and they talk about quality, but there's not much pictures of different sorts, and it was made by a number of different people. So yeah, it's a difficult one. Cockerels. You got the typical ones with the children, and there's a coloured one, which is less usual. But 3 of these are coloured. They look like they've from someone's collection.
I'm looking at the 20th Century Glass website, and it has a nice little story about Mary Gregory Glass. So Mary Gregory was a real person, and I've seen this somewhere else as well. And she worked for the Boston and Sandwich Glass Company. It says during the 1880s. I think it was from 1880 to 1884. And she painted landscapes, not children, even though you see everything here. It's got children. Occasionally you do see things that are just landscapes or chickens and a few other things like that. But yeah, a lot of them are little children and cherubs and things, but a lot of them are children, and usually in little sort of like early Victorian or 18th century even costumes. Anyway, it's telling you it's made in America, it's made in lots of different countries, Bohemia, and I know they were still making it in the 20th centuries and the different qualities, and you have to be an expert in it really to really get on with it. Also, while I was out punting around looking at Mary Gregory stuff, I found this nice, where's it gone? This nice little website here, cranberryglass.co.uk, and it's a retailer. They're selling glass, and Grimes House in High Street, Moreton in Marsh. I don't think I've been to Moreton in Marsh. I've not seen this place, I don't think. And I'm thinking, that's not that far. I wonder if they'd let me film there one time. Anyway, yeah, they've got a section on Mary Gregory glass. It doesn't really tell you a lot about it. There's not a lot of blurb with this. It is a retailer, but they have some prices on things. They seem to have cut all their prices in half. I wonder if they're closing up or something. But it is quite interesting. Their stuff seems to be a bit nicer, I think, than what we were looking at. Yeah. So this is what they've got. You see, that actually looks quite high quality. So there you have it. There's lots of different looks and styles to it, and yeah, the ones we had, most of them had coloured faces. They weren't all completely white like these ones, but the faces seemed a bit more blobby. So I think this is slightly better stuff.
Got a late Victorian epergne here, the typical sort of like 1870s onwards fern pattern that you see. It's quite a nice quality one. It looks like it should have been broken a long time ago. Yeah, I'm not sure if you just use them as a table decoration, or if you were supposed to put a flower in them, or how you were supposed to use them, or a feather maybe. Anyway, but this is interesting as well. Got a doll's house drinking set, and the decanter looks like a French one to me. So yeah, that's from the continent. Some Norwegian decanters are a bit like that as well, but I think it's a French one. Whoa. Here we go. There we go.
This is the glassmusterbush.de website, and I thought I'd try and show you why I think the little doll's house glass set is French. And yeah, so this is the Baccarat catalogue for 1916. I could go into other catalogues in here and find the same shape, but this with the little break on the shoulder here, this is like a thing. There's other ones in here with different shaped stoppers and stuff, but and without panels, but in general it's kind of like this shape with this break on the shoulder where you've got a round shoulder, then you've got a break, and then it goes up. It's very French. I have to say that I have seen it on some Scandinavian catalogues from the older glass as well. But whenever I see it, I always think French because it's the first ones I saw. I didn't see any Scandinavian ones until I went to Norway a couple of years ago. But anyway, I always think they're French because of this break on the shoulder, which is a very distinctive thing that they do. So I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah. So there will be more parts to Click Antiques. Yes, lots more parts. And I didn't actually buy any glass. I did buy some other things. And I'll revisit one of those. Probably when I get to the last part, I'll revisit something and show you something I bought that wasn't glass. But see if you remember it from part 1. Anyway, yes, so all the references I used will be in the description below. All the contact details for Click Antiques will be in the description below. And please remember to like and subscribe because it really helps my channel, moves me forward, get me close to being a professional at some point. Not that I'm going to be rich from it. I'll probably get a cup of coffee once a month. But anyway, please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. Good night.